Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions of the worlds of pop culture, social media, sports, TV, film, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. We, of course, interview hockey players. The NHL draft is around the corner. Players will have the chance to get their name called, and they are one step closer to playing in the National Hockey League. We're speaking to a player from Finland who plays for the Oshawa Generals. We're with Oliver Suni. Oliver, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
So you're a player from Finland who decided to come play in Canada. I mean, a lot of people kind of have these different kind of mindsets. For you, what were the reasons to leave Finland and go play in Canada, Oliver?
Yeah, me and my agent, we made the decision pretty early. Actually, the last year when I played in Finland, he told me that for me it would be best to play the next year in the CHL. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it was my draft year, so it was a big year for me. So he told me that, and I agreed.
Absolutely. Finland is a country that is definitely becoming a powerhouse for hockey players, whether it's forwards, defensemen, goalies. I mean, look at the track record of the World Juniors. What have you kind of noticed about the players coming from your country of Finland lately?
Yeah, we have had a lot of success in the World Juniors lately, and there's been a lot of young hockey players from Finland that have made it to the NHL, and yeah, our junior production is very good, and yeah, we have a lot of young hockey players coming up too.
And I think, do people realize, Oliver, how small Finland is? Like, the country of Finland is not, can you just tell our viewers, like, it's not that big of a country.
Yeah, it's not that big. I think there's like 5.5 million people there, and yeah, it's not that big, but hockey is a big thing here. Like, hockey is the biggest sport, like, Absolutely. By far here, and yeah, we have a lot of young hockey players.
And do you think
here.
People don't really notice that? Like, people obviously talk about Canada and everything, but you look at a lot of the countries like Finland and Sweden. I mean, you look at like when the World Juniors are around. I mean, that is the biggest kind of tournament for those countries.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really cool to see. For you specifically, with teams that have an opportunity to draft you in the National Hockey League, what kind of player they're going to get with Oliver Suni? Like, what kind of game do you bring to the table?
I'm a good skater. I'm a good skater, and I can make good plays, and I can also score. And I play well in both ends.
Absolutely. Did you have kind of an opportunity last season? Because this year is obviously a weird year, but last season, were there some things in Oshawa that you wanted to work on when you kind of showed up in terms of, I mean, everyone says kind of bigger, faster, stronger type thing, but what were some things specifically for your game that you had to work on, Oliver?
I would say that I can adjust well to the rink. I mean, it's smaller there, so I wanted to show that I can play the North American style of play there, and I think I showed that well.
Absolutely. How have you been adapting to this very weird, unprecedented time of COVID-19 with, you at one point you didn't know if you were able to go to the rink, training would have been a lot different. There's a lot more Zoom calls like this. How have you and other players been kind of dealing with this situation?
I mean, here in Finland, the COVID has not been that bad. Like, we don't have too many cases, so I've been able to, work out well, and I've been able to skate like 3 to 4 times a week. And yeah, it has not been that bad because I've been able to work out well, and that way try to develop.
The draft is around the corner. It'll be a virtual draft this year. So do you plan, of course, to be with your family, kind of waiting, watching it, seeing if your name is going to be called up? What's that kind of feeling being like so far?
It's going to be a special day for sure, and I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. In terms of players, and maybe it's like players from Finland, or I mean, Oliver Suni wants to be Oliver Suni, but there are some players maybe that you kind of look at, and you maybe in the National Hockey League that maybe their game is kind of similar to what you bring. What are some players that maybe you don't model your game after, but what are some players that could be compared to Oliver Suni that are in the National Hockey League right now in terms of like the style of play that you bring?
I would say Blake Wheeler and Philip Forsberg.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, very, very good players. No Finnish players in there.
No, not really. I mean, there's a lot of good players, but I would say those two.
There's some in the Oshawa Generals have had some unbelievable players over the years that have gone drafted into the National Hockey League. One of your teammates, Tyler Tullio, is another player who I think came in at a young age and even before you came to Oshawa had a very good year right away type thing. He's another player. Talk a little bit about kind of players on the Oshawa Generals that kind of allowed you to become a better player, and the players you played with that allowed you to kind of grow as a player, Oliver.
Yeah, I started the last year with I played in the line with Tullio and McShane, and we had a good chemistry. We had a lot of points in the start of the year, and obviously we traded for Tomasino, and he's a stud. That guy's a stud. I mean, he's a first round pick, and he showed that how hard he works and how well he plays.
Absolutely. I've interviewed McShane on this show as well. It was very good. Do you kind of find I mean, the draft is coming up, and a lot of players have social media and they can see things, and there's a lot of kind of distractions, and especially now with COVID, there's not a lot of people are at home doing nothing, so there's a lot more kind of tweeting and speculation. How do you kind of block that out and just kind of focus on working out, being on the ice? Like, what do you think about that? You know what I mean? People say, "Oh, Oliver Suni, where's he gonna get drafted?" You know what I mean?
I don't really care about that stuff. I just try to work hard every day, and I'm not the guy who's like up on Twitter trying to look where am I ranked or something. I don't care about that stuff, and I'm just like trying to work hard as much as I can.
Now I want to know, because I know in certain schools in Finland you're taught English, correct?
Yeah.
So did you speak English in Finland before you came over to Canada?
Yeah. I actually think that every school is like a mandatory. You have to like study English, and you start to learn English when you're like 9 years old. So, like pretty much everyone here speaks English pretty well.
Absolutely. It's one of those things, because certain countries, like there's a lot of players that come over, from Russia or Czech Republic, and they don't speak any English, so they got to kind of learn, so their teammates kind of help them in that. For you didn't really kind of need help. You showed up and you were able to speak.
Yeah, for me that was not a problem at all.
No, absolutely. What have you got, did you have a chance to watch a little bit of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals this year?
Yeah, I mean, the games are at night here, so I didn't stay up that much, but
Maybe
I usually
highlights or clips.
Yeah, I watched.
Did you notice though how hard the game of hockey and the National Hockey League has become? Like, these players, it's insane. Like, it's crazy how they're like going in the corners. It's nuts.
Yeah, and I think there was like over 100 hits in the finals, like almost every game. So it's very physical and it's hard.
Does that kind of make it seem like it's kind of obvious that you have players have to become like bigger and bulk up and stuff, like when they're kind of working out, because it's becoming such a skilled game, but it is becoming like a physical game? Like, we saw this, it was crazy in that bubble.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have to be strong and able to play NHL. So I think it's like the game is going to be faster every year, and also it gets more physical.
Absolutely. Is it kind of difficult for players to adapt to like the unknown landscape where you don't know what's gonna happen next year? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know when you don't know when things are gonna start. You don't know if there's gonna be more cases. You know what I mean? Do you kind of just play it day by day, I guess, Oliver, and just kind of work out, do your part, and then just the rest of it will kind of settle?
Yeah. There's like you don't know what's gonna happen, and you just hope for the best that everything's gonna play out well. But there's like you cannot know what's gonna happen, so we can just hope for the best.
Now, two kind of questions for you. One, non-hockey related. What shows have you been kind of watching or binging? There's a lot of cool TV shows out there. Are there any shows that you've been watching? And then two, I want more music to listen to. Can you recommend me some Finnish artists that I should check out as well?
Yeah, one show that I've been watching lately is How I Met Your Mother. And it's a great show, and if I would say the best Finnish music artist, it's like a duo. It's called JVG, and that's like the most popular like hip hop artist duo in Finland.
Yeah, we interviewed a long time ago. We interviewed someone from How I Met Your Mother, the guy who plays Carl, the bartender. He has a small role, but he's the guy who's the
Oh yeah,
bartender. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
yeah.
It's pretty cool. What do you for players that kind of want to play in the Ontario Hockey League or to play in the National Hockey League that are coming up right now? Are there some kind of little tips or tricks in terms of stick handling or little things that you've kind of learned that you can kind of share right now to players that will help? Like even little things like certain little stick handling maneuvers in the garage. Like, is there anything kind of that you've done in your workout that maybe like is not kind of known or kind of noticed type thing that you can kind of share?
I don't know. I've been like roller skating and stick handling the puck at the same time. I don't think that's like new. I'm pretty sure many people do that, but I have done that a lot.
A lot of players have been doing the roller hockey.
Yeah.
Have you played the spike ball? Spike ball's fun.
No, I have not.
You've never done that?
No.
Do you know what it is though? Like the
I'm
one
not
in the
pretty,
middle?
I'm not pretty sure.
It's like it's like a volleyball. A lot of the hockey players played it. You put it. It's like you have like almost.
Oh
like
yeah. There's like the thing in the middle, and you have to.
Yeah,
yeah. I know the game, but I have never played that.
Okay, cool. No, absolutely. Well, Oliver, thank you so much for coming on Popternative to chat. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, no problem. It was good talking to you.
Yeah. So where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Yeah, my Instagram is at Oliver Suni, and my Twitter is at Oliver down that dot. I don't know what the thing is, and Suni.
And again, you said it, but I'm gonna ask it again because this is how I end it. Why should a NHL team draft Oliver Suni?
Yeah, like I said, I'm a big body, and I can skate well, and I can score a goal and make some plays. So.
Well, Oliver, all the best. Enjoy the day, and all the best for the NHL draft.
Thank you.
Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Oliver Suni and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.